What's up, man?
What's up, man? Welcome in to the Knicks Universe podcast. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking about the upcoming 2019 NBA draft, which is going to happen in 2 days. And the main three players the Knicks are potentially going to draft is R.J. Barrett, Darius Garland, and of course, John Morant. Potentially, if the Pelicans make a big trade and slide up to 2 with that second pick, which we potentially don't, might not happen, but how you doing, man? Thanks so much for tuning in.
What's up, man? You ready to start?
What are you most excited for? Are you excited for the draft?
I'm most excited for the draft. Yeah, the draft, because that's the best way to build a young team. Rebuilding team.
Yeah, and I think with the whole thing going on, Avery really brought up. By the way, go follow him on Instagram, the Knicks Universe. He makes a bunch of good content over there. As there's some sources that came out today that the Knicks are most likely going to draft Darius Garland, or very strongly considering that. Of course, he came off a whole injury, and I believe we're going to work him out. Is it today or tomorrow?
I don't think that was released yet when the workout's going to be, but I imagine
soon, pretty much, because it's in 2 days.
Soon. I'd imagine tomorrow or the coming days, obviously.
Yeah, but then a big thing also broke out, because we were very upset when we saw Darius Garland very interested, or the Knicks are very interested in him. And then a report came out that Adrian Wojnarowski said that the Knicks are still most likely going to select R.J. Barrett, which we're really happy about, because R.J. Barrett, in our opinion, is the most talented player left if he's there with the 3rd overall pick, because I think he has the most potential, he's the most talent. I think he can be extremely good. He's a gifted scorer. He's a good playmaker. His godfather is Steve Nash. And I think he's going to break the Canadian thing. He's a lefty. He has great body control around the basket, and I think R.J. Barrett's going to be a really good player. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Darius Garland? First off, what were your thoughts when the Darius Garland news came out?
He's not honestly, if the Pelicans take Zion.
Yeah.
It's RJ and Ja. Those are the next best players.
Yeah, it's three.
Garland is not
Go ahead.
Garland is not a top 3 player.
Yeah,
Garland's going to be a damn good NBA player, but he's not top 3.
Yeah, my bad for almost interrupting you. But it's a 3-player draft. It's Zion Williamson, John Morant, and R.J. Barrett. It's easy as that. And of course, there was also news before. But this was before, I believe, the draft lottery odds were set, or the draft lottery set, or whatever. But no, it actually might have been after that. The Knicks were considering trading down, but then the Knicks rejected an offer from the Atlanta Hawks, trading down to the 8th and 10th spot, which we're very happy about that he rejected that. I was like, the Knicks are actually doing something good for once. Of course, you can get a bunch of depth and players for your future, but most likely at the 8 and 10 spot, you won't find future All-Stars. It's very hard to, unless you have a very good scouting team, which, of course, our scouting team did a damn good job selecting Mitchell Robinson and Kevin Knox, and then finding Trier, I was very happy with. But I think it's just the right spot to draft the best player available with a 3rd overall pick. We need a shooting guard. And, of course, Avery brought up that we should pick up a Julius Randle with the right price. So, are you very happy that we're staying with the 3rd pick?
I am very happy about that. I mean, imagine a lineup. Well, at this point, we're not getting Kyrie.
Yeah, we're not.
Imagine DSJ, R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Imagine that lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I want to keep DeAndre, but honestly, that might not happen. That might not be as likely at this point, because we're not getting KD. We're not getting we're not another star. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, and I think the Knicks,
DeAndre's not returning. If I was DeAndre, I'd probably go back to a Western Conference team.
Yeah, I agree 100%. If I was DeAndre Jordan, I would definitely go to a championship contender. It would be very nice to see him go maybe to the Raptors or the Lakers or something. Yeah. I think him going to Lakers would be nice, because I would like to see DeAndre Jordan win a championship. He did a very nice job mentoring Mitchell Robinson. And Mitchell Robinson, just once he learned from DeAndre Jordan, he just went out there and had an immediate impact and got so much better. Of course, Mitchell Robinson struggled with ankle injuries, but he finished the league second in blocks, and he had in the top 5, you notice all those guys had 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes per night, and he averaged 20 minutes. Just his productivity and how efficient he was unbelievable. He has perfect timing, freak athlete, and I'm very excited to see what Mitchell Robinson is going to bring to the future. But I think at this point, yes, you're right. With Kevin Durant potentially not coming here, I would just keep it safe and build this team very young. So are you all in on building this team organically and building throughout the draft until we're ready to compete?
Yes, I don't want to rush it because rushing it most of the time, 98% of the time, it does not work. Don't rush it. Like, look at this team we got. Like, we got a good young core going here. Like, that's why I didn't want them to trade for AD because, like, that'd be, that's basically like throwing everything away, Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather keep these young guys and develop them, let them develop. I see Kevin Knox being like a Paul George type.
Yeah, I think his upsides, we both discussed this. Paul George is probably his upside and on the floor. I think he could be like solid like a Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris is a good player. I believe he made the All-Star game once, or no, he didn't, did he?
No, he has not made an All-Star game yet.
But 1 year, he was very good for the Clippers. But people need to realize Knicks fans shouldn't be upset if we don't land Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, which we're not at all. And we just need to be safe. And the Knicks came out and said that they're not going to sign any top free agents or like a Kemba Walker or Jimmy Butler. We're keeping it safe, keeping that cap space. And Knicks fans that are upset, you shouldn't be upset because this is the best position we've been in for a very long time. Because we have a top 3 pick. Of course, not the number 1 pick, but you still get a very talented player of an RJ Barrett. Not like he's a leftover, because people are talking about RJ Barrett like he's a leftover type talent. Like, oh, now we have to just draft RJ. He's nothing. But people have to realize before the start of the 2018-19 college basketball season, RJ Barrett was supposed to be the first overall pick before we saw what happened, how great Ja and Zion was. RJ Barrett was like the number 1 player in high school. His godfather, Steve Nash, he's going to have so much to learn from him. And he's an unbelievable player. And, like, you should be really happy if we draft an RJ Barrett because he's going to be a fantastic player. I don't see him leading the Knicks to, like, a championship year 1 or just carrying like a LeBron James. But he's definitely going to be a big part of the future, a natural scorer. And call me crazy, but I think he has potential to be an 18 to 20 point per game scorer his rookie year because he's that talented as a scorer. But yeah, Knicks fans shouldn't be upset. We're in the best spot we've been in for a very long time. Despite us not getting a Kyrie or Durant, we have tons of cap space. We're keeping it safe and just building this team very young. But don't you agree this is the best spot we've been in for a very long time? We've never had young talent like this in a long time.
It is. And like I said, the important thing to do is just develop these guys. Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, Trier. Like, Trier could definitely be like a Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
Mitch could definitely be like, a Clint Capella. Kevin Knox could easily be like a Paul George or Tobias Harris, which is, like, Jay, I know a lot of people, don't really want him as a starting point guard. And, like, DSJ, he's got a great future. Could easily be like a poor man's Russell Westbrook, Like,
yeah.
All these guys are going to be fantastic for us.
Yeah, I think Dennis Smith Jr.
Barrett could definitely, by the way, be like, an 18 points per game scorer. All these guys, they're going to be fantastic guys, and just keep them, develop.
Yeah, the only knockout against RJ Barrett is when you watch the Duke games. Of course, you always see Zion make the big play. Even if he missed a free throw, he got a big rebound, or we had a big bucket. The only complaint I have about RJ Barrett is putting it all together and developing that right hand. If you didn't know, he's a right-hander, but he uses left hand. But he's going to have to learn to use his right hand, use his non-ball dominant hand, be able to be very be able to use both hands. But he's a very good trainer right now, Drew Hanlon. He's a very freakish athlete. I saw freaking head above the rim. Like, this dude's going to be amazing. And he fixed a little mechanic in the jump shot. Looks a lot smoother. And
that man is athletic. We need athleticism.
Yeah, and I think RJ Barrett's going to be unbelievable. But the only knock I had about RJ Barrett is he clutch. Because you watch Duke games, at the end of the game, he makes the wrong decision, or he doesn't feed the hot hand. He doesn't make the right play. Sometimes he tries to make the hero play. But the thing I love about RJ Barrett, he's going to be amazing with the Knicks media. He wants to win. His dad played in Madison Square Garden. He said he wants to play here. He didn't work out with any other teams, which shows complete confidence that he knows he's the best player in this draft, or he thinks he's the best player in this draft. Personally, Knicks bias aside, I think long-term RJ Barrett could be the best player in this draft, or John Morant. Just
and he spent 2 damn days with the team. Like,
yeah, exactly.
2 days with the team. It's pretty obvious that he's gonna end up as a Knick.
Yeah, and he connected with David Fizdale. We have a player coach who's really gonna help develop him too. I think RJ Barrett's the perfect fit for New York, and we have to 100% draft him. And his dad told him about how Madison Square Garden is. And I'm liking this team moving forward. But what are your thoughts on the point guard position? Were you happy, even though Alonzo Trier is like point guard / shooting guard off the bench, were you happy that we picked up Alonzo Trier's option or whatever, and now he's still going to continue to be a part of the team.
Definitely. Trier, like I said, Trier has the potential to be like Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams.
Yeah, I like the Lou Williams comparison.
Like, he could easily be one of the best six men in the league. Like, I hope he does pass the ball a little bit more. He could, a lot of vets were complaining about him, they didn't really like playing with him because he was a ball hog.
Wait, who didn't?
They were not released, which players said that.
Unless you're getting that mixed up with Colin Sexton. I know that happened with Colin Sexton.
Nah, it was true.
Oh, okay.
A few of the players did not like playing with him because he kind of was a ball hog a little bit. But, I mean, other than that, Trier is going to be a fantastic player. He's going to be a great sixth man for us in the future, and I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah, and my favorite, if I had to pick my favorite game from Trier, of course, my favorite play was that big dunk in opening night, and we ended up beating the Atlanta Hawks in the Knicks debut. But my favorite game was against the Houston Rockets. Of course, James Harden ended up dropping freaking 61 or whatever, almost passing Carmelo Anthony's record, which is scary as shit. But Alonzo Trier made big plays in that game. I remember in the first half he was completely cold, but then he went on to make the right plays in the second half. I don't think people realize how great Alonzo Trier is a finisher at the rim, and it's just crazy to think about how this dude is undrafted. And a bunch of people were like, "Oh, you can keep him or whatever." He took steroids and all that, but people don't realize the reason he took steroids is because he got into a car crash, and you just happen to take steroids. I think Alonzo Trier is going to be a great sixth-man piece or seventh man down the road for the New York Knicks for depth, because you need depth to win championships, and I think the Knicks are 100% leading in the right direction. And what are your thoughts so far on what Scott Perry and Steve Mills are doing moving forward?
All of their moves have been great, and moving forward, I think they're all going to be great. I trust them. Scott knows what he's doing. And look at his draft history too. Drafted Kevin Durant. Drafted didn't he draft Vince Carter or something, or another superstar? But yeah, most famous for drafting Kevin Durant. He knows who to draft. We're gonna be fine building through the draft. I completely trust him.
All right, let's see who he drafted. He drafted Rodney White at 9. That's not okay. He drafted Tayshaun Prince at 23rd.
That's what I was thinking.
Sadly,
Prince.
drafted Milicic. Oh, Durant, Greg Monroe, Brandon Knight, Victor Oladipo. He did.
No, that's who it was. Victor Oladipo.
Aaron Gordon, Mario Zonia, De'Aaron Fox was a good one. That was his latest great.
He gave the Kings.
Because you have to remember as well, they're the GM, general manager, president aren't the only ones in on drafting, because they're scouts for a reason that help you out.
Scott Perry's the
main reason he wanted to draft Milicic or the players that ended up failing, because there's a lot more that goes into it than just a general manager picking one player. But let's try. But I'm very happy with how Perry and Mills have done. Mills has done an amazing job since Phil Jackson's departure and everything. Despite the Tim Hardaway Jr. contract, $71 million, which is insane. Avery thought it was $17 million, but that just shows how crazy it was that he didn't even remember, because it's $71 million, which is ridiculous. 4 years. And Courtney Lee contract is off the books. Well, I'm very excited how patient we are with this New York Knicks team. But of course, we don't know that many prospects going in with that 55th overall pick. But who would you want to draft in the second round? Have you taken a look at anyone yet?
First of all, sorry to cut you off, but yeah, first of all, Scott Perry, first of all, is the one who gave the Kings their future. I completely trust him with whoever he drafts. Before the draft, I just take Barrett, but I mean, even if we don't, I completely trust him. I trust who he decides to take. And in the second round, I could definitely Taco Fall might be a realistic option, but I really don't want him. I really don't. Here's why. He's just tall. That's the only reason why he's getting drafted. He's tall. There's a difference between him and Bol Bol. Bol Bol has talent. I mean, Taco Fall, it looked like the Knicks wanted to take him with the 55th pick, So that's just my prediction. I think they might take Taco.
Yeah, the only realistic way I would select Taco Fall, I can see where they're coming from if they do end up selecting Taco Fall. You know why?
Why?
Because depth at the center position. Because if you think about it, if we DeAndre Jordan walks, he doesn't re-sign or pick up his option, and then moving forward, we need depth at that center position. Because remember, Boban's tall. He doesn't have the greatest of skills as well. Sometimes he has a soft touch around the basket. But when I'm watching Taco Fall, you have to realize, if you ever seen highlights of the UCF and the Duke game, he made big plays on Zion Williamson. He had great instincts, being able to slow down Zion Williamson at the end, even though Zion Williamson had a big bucket over him, just how big he is. But Taco Fall had very good measurements, of course, being freakishly tall with a long wingspan. But he moves very good for his size. Like, his agility's amazing. And, like, if we take him with the 55th overall pick and he doesn't pan out, I'm like, okay, it's a 55th overall pick. There's honestly no risk there, so I wouldn't be mad at all if we take him with the 55th overall pick. But I was telling Avery about, I wouldn't be mad at all if Kyle Guy from Virginia slips there, because we need a lights-out shooter. We don't have much shooters on this team, and you can never have enough shooters because shooting is the main thing. It's a 3-and-D type of league, and Kyle Guy's very crafty shooting inside as well, being able to penetrate at times. Of course, people say he's too skinny, but he made big shots in the championship game. He's out of Dante DiVincenzo because he's been consistent all year, and Kyle Guy, I think, could produce very well to the New York Knicks. But yeah, what else, man?
Second round picks rarely make the NBA. Think about that too. Even if Fall doesn't pan out, think about that. Yeah, second round picks rarely pan out to be, something. Especially with the 55th pick,
Yeah, they're not guaranteed contract really. Because we've taken like European dudes that we never ended up, like, they play them in summer league, right? Or they send them down the G League, but doesn't mean they're going to play them in the NBA. They may not be NBA ready yet. We've seen an example of that with Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Like, we barely played him. We've seen Clean Anthony early. But yeah, tons of European dudes. Like, we've seen tons of players get drafted in the second round that never play in the NBA, and they just get sent back to overseas. We've seen plenty of overseas players drafted in the second round, and they just go back to overseas because they just think they're not ready enough. But yeah, there's really no risk drafting with the 55th overall pick. It's totally different in football, but in the NBA, second round picks don't mean much, but we're very blessed to have Dotson with the second round pick.
Oh yeah, like Jarmus, remember him? He never played a game with the Knicks. Well, he did in the summer league, but he never got a contract on the main roster.
Yeah, but yeah, there's really no risk. That's why I was very happy when we got Trier undrafted, which was absolutely amazing because he was an absolute beast. He was known as like a prodigy as a kid in high school basketball, and I'm just very excited to see where this Knicks team is going to be moving forward. But if you guys want to see the NBA draft, be free to tune into my stream at Noah Cahill and go follow the Knicks Universe on Instagram. He's going to give a bunch of big updates, which is Avery Torif. Go follow him on Knicks Universe. He gives a bunch of big analysis on Adrian Wojnarowski, big like media people that bring out news about Knicks and all that, and it should be very exciting moving forward with this podcast. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. Anything you want to say, Avery?
I just want to say that trust the process. Just trust the process. Whatever happens in the draft and free agency, just trust the process, man.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're out, guys. Peace out.
Peace.